Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. Today we're going to be doing some day 1 Alpha Clone Abyss. Well, actually, technically it's not day 1, but it is got day 1 skills because I've used the skill point packages you get from clicking on the link, the buddy invite link that gives you this 1 million skill points. So I've applied these skill points. I haven't trained any other skill points, but the skill points that you get from that link. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to use a passive shield tanked Kestrel with light missiles. So I've already done a test before and I want to test this again because we just want to test further the ways, and I want to show you guys how it goes. Maybe it could be a failure, maybe it could be a success. We'll see how it goes. But the concept is that we're using a passive tank fit. So you can see here we're using extenders, some shield amplifiers, and the thing is we're not got any tank modules that are dependent on capacitors, so that is good if they're neuting waves. We're using the MWD to keep a distance, and we also are quite fast with the MWD. I think it was like 2.5 kilometers or almost 2.5 kilometers a second. You can see here it's pretty fast. The only issue with this fit, like everything is good, we've also got really good range. The only problem is that we do not have a good DPS. I would prefer to have like 130, 140 DPS, but we've only got 85 DPS, so this is going to be a bit of an issue. But hopefully we'll still pull through. We're doing explosive damage, and we're going to do calm and gamma sights, and in gamma sights they've got reduced explosive resistance, so hopefully it'll be alright. So let's get into it. You obviously have to create a fleet. I've already done that. Use 3 filaments, and I'm going to do T1 or the calm and gamma filaments here. The most deadly waves is likely going to be the Karybdis, because in gamma sights, as I told you guys before, the shields are bonused. The shield capacities are increased, so that'll obviously be good for us because we're going to be more tanky. But it'll also be bad because the enemy ships are also going to be tanky as well. And Karybdis Tyrannus has a very big shield, and if that shield is further increased by a certain amount of percentage, it's going to be even bigger of an issue, an even bigger issue. Okay, so this wave shouldn't be that big. It's we just got some Damaviks, some Triglavians, and the Triglavians should be extra easy in these sites, gamma sites, because the Triglavians don't rely much on shields, they rely on armor. So their armor is not going to make a big deal, and they already have a big explosive hull, like they have low explosive resistance, so we're going to do a lot of damage. Plus, the environmental effect further reduces their explosive resistance, so it shouldn't be that much of an issue. It should be quite easy. We can actually make our way to the biocommutative cache. And it doesn't seem like we're getting warp scrambled, but it shouldn't be much of an issue. Then you can see they're slowly getting at our shield, but we'll probably kill them a lot faster. I doubt we'll have any serious issues when being hooked down like this. And also, it's only 1, so you can easily get out of their range. If they didn't have any scrambles, it'll be very easy to kite them. But it doesn't seem like it'll that be big of an issue. Hopefully. I mean, our shield is going down quite fast now, actually, now that you talk about it. But we're going to take out this one guy here. But as I said before, the wave I'm not looking most forward to is the Karybdis Tyrannus wave. This guy seems to be doing down quick. This is the thing, like if we had more DPS, what was that? We had some skilling spree there. Oh wait, we've got like the skilling spree now, so you can actually. Oh, okay, so yeah, they've returned that event where if you kill NPCs, you get like these bonuses. That's cool. But the issue, like, is that like we've not got a good DPS. So people often want to have a good tank, right? But the thing is, your DPS in a way is kind of like a tank in itself, especially against Triglavians, because Triglavians' DPS ramps up. So the more you kill, the less DPS you'll have on the field. And if you do not kill them fast enough, in actuality your tank is going to be even worse because they're just going to spool up even more. That's an important thing when it comes to Triglavians, and also in general, just to have good DPS, because you want to kill the stuff before it can kill you. And we can see here we're kiting like a boss right now. I'm just holding down Q, double clicking like this in space to be able to move. Hold down Q, double click in space. That's a very good technique to kite. Also, if you take a little bit of a sharp turn like this, they tend to go a bit slow. I think it's because they're switching from orbiting to approach or something like that. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but I noticed that their velocity seems to change if you go a little bit from the side like this. Like you see this, take a little bit of an angle here. Okay, let's see now. Goodbye, commutative cache. Obviously, if it is going to be linked in the description, you guys can test it out yourself. It's not that expensive. 9 mil here, or almost 10 mil here. The filaments are also dirt cheap. They only cost like a few 100,000, so it's hardly anything. You usually get about, I'd say maybe a 5 mil ISK per site, maybe a little bit more. It depends. You can also get the lucky drops, so that's a really good reason to get into T1 Abyss as an Alpha Clone, because you can get lucky, and you can potentially get a skill book that costs 200 million, the small disintegrator specialization here. I'll show you here. This skill book right here, it goes for a really good price. I think, yeah, 200 mil. There we go. First wave down. All right, let's lock this guy up, and our time is good. You know, 3.5 minutes. That's good. I like that time. That's good. The Purifier, I usually use that, and it's a similar concept that you're just flying around with an MWD, and you're also shooting with your missiles. The only difference is that the Purifier excels at the battleship waves because it'll just like nuke them in seconds because of how much DPS the torpedoes do. The only problem is that when it comes to frigate waves, it's not as good. But then if you factor in the Purifier's application and DPS, it becomes probably even better than the Kestrel when it comes to killing the small stuff, because just how good DPS it is. We have, you know, what's now 80 DPS. The Purifier that I use can have about like 500, just below 600. So these striking laser sharks are also one of the very easy waves. As I said before, it's a very lucky wave. Actually, you should consider yourself lucky if you get one of these, because they're just so easy. There's so little EHP, so fast, and it's very easy to outmaneuver them on the as a frigate. But the thing is, if it is a starving laser shark, then it's a different issue, because you can't orbit like at 500 like I'm doing now. Well, actually you could, because we're not using any tanker modules that are dependent on capacitor. Like for example, if we had a shield booster, obviously if they're, because starving laser sharks, they neutralize, do energy neutralizing, so they'll suck your capacitor dry, and we will then, and they're exceptionally strong neutralizers, and especially when you're orbiting at 500 very close, neutralizers get stronger the closer you are to them, or they're more effective the closer you are to them. So that was dead easy right there, dead easy way right there. And then we'll obviously not be able to use our Microwarpdrive, but it shouldn't be much of an issue, because we will still be able to orbit with our normal thrusters, and I think we'll be able to outmaneuver them. I'm not 100% sure, but I think we'll be able to maneuver their weapon systems if we use our, if we do not have the Microwarpdrive activated. And also the thing is, if you have a Microwarpdrive off, your signature radius is a lot smaller, so it'll be easy to speed tank as well. See, that wave took only like couple of minutes, like hardly any time at all. Basically we cruised towards the bioadaptive cache, and then that was it. Okay, so this is one of the harder waves. I think it'll take a lot of time. We'll see how this goes. This is exactly what I wanted to see. But the thing is, actually, now that I just realized, Karybdis Tyrannus hardly has any shields in the T1, so it shouldn't be that much of an issue, because not much of the, because I'm used to running T4 and T5 sites, and their shield is almost at full. Here, what is this, like 8% shield? That's going to be hardly anything. We can just orbit here at 500. Should not be any issue at all, actually. Hopefully, let's just see how it goes. But actually, now that I think of it, probably the drone battleship will be an issue, because the drone battleship, he has always full HP, as far as I know. Yeah, he always has full HP, even in the T1s. But the thing is, a good thing with the drone battleship is that he has, I'm pretty sure he has a explosive resistance hull, so it'll be quite fast in that regard. And most of his EHP is also in the armor and structure, so shouldn't be that much of an issue. But you can see the shield is going down very slowly. Even though it's just 8%, we've only done 5% so far, even though we've managed to get under 500. Let's see now. Okay, so the 1%, like basically each shot is 1%, so it's not at all particularly fast, but it should get very fast when we come to the armor and the structure, and there's not much of it either. See, he's already dead. And I think it has to do with the Triglavians. The law is that they have been at war with the drifters, so they've been like, Triglavians have been fighting these guys, and I'm pretty sure that what has happened here is that Triglavians have been battling the drifters, and this guy has like been damaged or under repair, or like fled the battle or something like that. So he's obviously damaged from some kind of battle, so that's why they're extra weak. But that's not the case in the T5 sides, or at least the T5 sides, they have a lot more fuller HP, and also do much more damage. So you're kind of fighting more battle ready drifters in the T5 side, while in the T1s on lower filament sites you're fighting like kind of wounded or damaged drifter ships. But this is very interesting, actually. I didn't think about this. This is a very interesting thing, because I thought that Karybdis will be a very big deal when it comes to the Kestrel, but it doesn't seem at all like it's a big deal, because he hardly has any shields. We already are in structure, and it seems like it's going down pretty fast. 4% for each volley, so that's alright. So 8 volleys, if the math is correct, or if it keeps up being the correct amount of damage, then we should destroy it. So it doesn't seem like much of an issue there either. And we're already in the origin conduit, so that seems really good actually. And we're already, I don't even think we'll cross 10 minutes. Maybe we will, but it doesn't seem like it's such a big deal. Usually I would be very like, oh, I don't want to be in these orange clouds over here. But they make it so that basically your shield boosters use more capacitor. What they do is that they make it so that the shield cycle is faster, and so it'll obviously give you more shield. But the thing is, it reduces the amount of shield per cycle. So in actuality, your shield booster is repping less but spinning or boosting faster. So it's just using more capacitor. It's less efficient. So I would usually be afraid of that being in these, or at least try to keep my distance from them. But that's no issue here because we're full passive, not reliant on any cap or anything apart from the MWD. But we've not got any kind of boosters or anything like that. So this shouldn't be much of an issue right there. Triglavian biocombinative cache. Alright, so this was very easy. I was actually really afraid of the Karybdis Tyrannos. I was really afraid of Karybdis Tyrannos, but it doesn't seem like it at all was particularly hard. In fact, we finished this in under 10 minutes right there. Well, it'll take a bit of time for us to get to the gate, but we've basically finished this under 10 minutes. That's really nice. I'm quite happy with that. I wonder how it'll fare in the drone battleship wave. The drone battleship wave, I can see that still being quite of an issue, but I think we will get through that because of how it has a low explosive resistance. But the drone battleships are very tanky. Those are you've got to watch out for those guys because they really do not mess around. And also they tend to have little drone frigates as well helping. So not only do you have to destroy the tanky battleship, you've also got his friends with him that you have to also get through. Okay, let's just dock here. I'm running them in Jita, so this is also a very good spot to run in Jita if these lower level abysses, if you are getting started, because the reason if you're running high level abysses, you usually do not want to run them in Jita unless you're using specialized fits that are quite cheap, because often what people will do is that they'll camp Jita and try to scan down filaments and then kill people who are running the high level ones, because the high level guys, they usually use very expensive ships, so they can kill your ship and they can loot your wreck, and then they'll get lots of money from them because of how expensive the modules you've got are. And usually it's very difficult to not die to these ganks, because often what people will use is that they'll use these like tornado ships. It's a battle cruiser, and the battle is exceptionally good at alpha striking, so it does a lot of damage in a very short amount of time. So even if you have a good EHP per second boost, it'll not be enough for their like instant damage that they do. It'll just one tap your ship before you even have enough time to recharge. Anyway, that's it for this T1 Calm Gamma filament run in a day 1 Alpha Clone as a Kestrel. Thanks for watching, guys. It seems to have gone really well, and if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.